I had the pleasure of finishing Loki season 2. Of course, I was gonna just do a season 2 review of Loki because I was thinking, but I'm gonna call it a Loki series review because I'm very much certain after what the last season gave us, this is probably the last season of Loki. So I'm just gonna do a full-blown series review and just my review of the whole show in itself. And yeah, let's get right into Loki. Loki is an action-adventure fantasy. Of course, the second season of the American television series Loki, based on the Marvel comic featuring the characters of the same name, sees Loki working with Mobius, M. Mobius, Hunter B-15, and other members of the Time Variance Authority to navigate the multiverse in order to find Sylvie, Ravonna Renslayer, and Miss Minutes. Shows written and created by Michael Waldron. And yeah, so Loki, this is of course, I'd say the finale of the show and my thoughts of what I feel after the show, and I guess the whole show in itself. Loki's great. This is honestly the best show that the MCU has given us in a way. The MCU shows are mixed bag. I think ranking the shows is not as difficult, especially now with Loki. I think Loki's number one. I think most people agree, and I think Loki, it's amazing. I think how it ends is a perfect conclusion to the character of Loki. If I don't see Loki again, I am perfectly fine with it. I think it ends this character beautifully. That last episode was just a masterpiece. I think it's just an amazing episode. But the show itself is just really good. It's just so much fun, so interesting, and it's just getting to see just the different multiverse and dealing with just really high stakes. After watching Loki really gives me that, like, oh, this is some high stakes shit going on, something I have not felt for Marvel in a very long time. And I think Loki has truly solidified itself as the best MCU show, and it could absolutely possibly be staying there for a bit. And I really love Loki. I think Loki ended the show beautifully. The performances, you got, of course, Tom Hiddleston returning as the character of Loki, and this character, to me now, has solidified itself as the best character in the MCU now. You know, Iron Man was the best. Captain America was amazing. I think now Loki has solidified itself as the best character in the MCU right now. I love this character. This character is amazing. The performance by Tom Hiddleston's amazing. He is freaking great. Before Thanos came around, Loki was considered the best villain. And I think now he is considered not only the best villain, but I think the best character now in MCU. And I think Tom Hiddleston's performance as this character is amazing. There's some scenes for this character that is truly like Tom Hiddleston brings his acting chops in this show. You also got Owen Wilson as Mobius, is just amazing. Just love the duo of Mobius and Loki. They have just fantastic chemistry. And also just Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston just have fantastic chemistry. And they're great. I love the character of Mobius. He's awesome. You got also the character of Sylvie, played by Sophia Di Martino, which is the female version of Loki, which is it's a little weird in a way, where Loki is in love with Loki. It's kind of funny. But this character, in the first season, I found the character fine as a character, but I think the season 2 really, I like the character more in season 2. I think season 2 really gave her more of a story that you can really deal with and root for. And I thought the character was really good by the end of the second season. I think she really gave herself a better character in the second season. And you also got Gugu Mbatha-Raw playing Ravonna Renslayer, who is, I guess, the antagonist of the show. And yeah, she's fine in a way. She's fine. She's not someone who I'm gonna look at and be like, yeah, she's a cool villain. She's fine in the show. I do think she's a better villain than the one from the Marvels, so I'll give her that. But she's fine. She's not a villain that I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is a great villain. She's fine. And you also got the legendary voice actress Tara Strong as Miss Minutes. Also, it's just cool hearing Tara Strong. She's been in the game for so long, and she's been voice acting for a very long time, and just children's shows. She's also voiced Harley Quinn in the Arkham series, and it's just cool hearing her voice as Miss Minutes. And Miss Minutes is cool. She's a cool character. She's funny, but also there's some character in her that you get to see. And yeah, she's good. Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains is probably the best character that he's played in this whole Marvel thing when it comes to Kang. And yeah, Jonathan Majors is good. I like Jonathan Majors. I think it's a shame was going on with him as a person. I can't say if what's happening with him is completely true or fact. So I'm just looking at this as a performance, and yeah, he's good as he remains. You can tell this man's a very powerful character who has a lot, who knows everything. He's the man who knows it all, and I think Jonathan Majors is great as this character. Also, he plays the other guy, the genius, and yeah, he's good as that character as well. We also got Wanmi Mosaku as Hunter B-15. She's a cool character, but not a character that I would be like, yeah, she has a lot of character that I can really root for. She's in the show, but not for me to be like, yeah, I can like her character. You got also Eugene Cordero as Casey. He's great. He's funny. He was in the first season and also the second season, and yeah, he's a cool character. He's the one that kind of in the beginning explains to Tom Hiddleston. He's cool, and all around the performances are really good by everybody. I think Tom Hiddleston's amazing as Loki, and I just love Owen Wilson, and all around the supporting cast is pretty solid. And yeah, the performances are good. The direction, this is a very well made show. I was surprised too when I was watching how good the budget is. Like, I'm watching the Marvels, and I'm like, this is terrible CGI. And I'm watching, looking like, man, these are the same people who did that, so I don't understand what's happening. Like, the budget for this show is just extraordinary, and it looks amazing. Also, the show is written by Eric Martin, which is kind of just, he wrote most of this shit. And Eric Martin, this story is just so fascinating. It is so interesting. He really made something he made this show really fucking just interesting and exciting. And the cinematography, this is a very well shot show. It's a beauty to look at times. The chemistry between everybody's great. Everybody works well together. Owen Wilson and Loki have just fantastic chemistry. The visual effects are fucking awesome. I can't tell you that there's a single moment in this show where I could be like, bad VFX. No, the VFX for this show are actually really good. That's why I'm surprised how some of the movies do not have that same quality. I'm like, dude, a fucking TV show on Disney Plus looks better than a high-budget movie from Marvel, and that's kind of sad to me. And the action scenes are good. The action scenes are pretty well shot, and I honestly, man, I love this show. This could absolutely be a fucking 5 out of 5 stars, but I gotta see this multiple times, I think, to really. But this is the best show in Marvel. I think this is easily the best MCU. I was gonna say MCU, but it kind of is now. The MCU. It ends just masterfully for the character of Loki, and I am very pleased with Loki's season, the Loki show. I think it is a nice 2-part story of this character, and I think it ends beautifully. And that final episode really solidifies this show as the best MCU show, and I love it. I talking about this show, I love this show, and I'm kind of saddened that it ended. And hopefully this is the end for this character. If they introduce him again, I'm like, fine. But he is truly the best character in the MCU. Like, if they're gonna have somebody lead the journey of Kang and all that, it should be Loki. He should be a part of that, because he is the best thing that has come from the MCU, and as a character too, and just I love Tom Hiddleston as this character. He's fantastic, and as a show, when it comes to flaws, I don't got much. There's not really any big flaws I can give, except for not even. The show is awesome. I loved it. It's been a 5 out of 5 stars. Talking about this show more, I've come to really love it more, and talking about it, and I'll see it. If I see it multiple times, I might do a multiple review to see if my opinion stays or maybe it changes. I don't know, but I love Loki. I think this is an amazing series, and I'm glad it is number 1 for me for the MCU show. So I love this show. So those are my thoughts, guys, for Loki season 2, and I'm grateful. And honestly, if this is the end for the character of Loki, they ended it beautifully in the best way they could. I think the character of Loki was amazing, and I'm glad, and they just ended it just beautifully for me, and I love it. Hey guys, I completely forgot about a certain character, which I'm surprised. Number 1, because I was kind of reviewing this as a series, because season 2 is pretty much gonna be the last. So I don't know if maybe one day I'll talk about it, but how did I forget freaking Ke Huy Quan? I mean, Ke Huy Quan, of course, is the guy who wrote the book of the time variants, the TVA guidebook. And man, Hee Kwan, I love this guy. He is truly the best part of this show. I'm surprised I forgot. I actually hate myself for forgetting this guy, which I now didn't forget. Hee Kwan is amazing. He's fantastic in this show. He's probably the best part. I love him. He's funny, and he's part of the crew by the end. And the only thing I wish is he was in the first season. That's all. I kind of wish he became, I guess, the guy to talk about during the time of the first season of Loki. But I'm glad he is now, and I'm glad he was at the end. And Ki Hoi Kwan is amazing. So that's all I forgot, sadly. But hey, see you guys.